Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Gigi of GGmadeit.com. You know, the knitter, the blogger, and the iconic orange lady. This week I want to talk about finished items. I want to talk about what I'm doing next, and I have been knitting for 14 years. My anniversary was yesterday, so let's talk about that as well. You ready?
Pretty girls walk like this. Pretty girls walk like this. I'm a finished object.
That, in fact, is true. She is a finished object.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so that's absolutely a finished object. It was 30 some odd years ago that I finished it, but I absolutely did finish that. So since she started off with finished objects, let's start there. Guys, my mindfully mindless, am I saying it right? Yes, mindfully mindless cow is done. And it's reversible. You got the little stripes and the thick stripes. And you close it with Kitchener stitch. But I realize now, looking closely, that when I took out the provisional cast on, the stitches were oriented the wrong way, so I should have knit into the back. But I'm not going to worry about it because you can fold it wherever you want to fold it. And nobody can see my faux pas. But I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, which side would you wear? The little stripes or the big stripes? So a couple things about this pattern I want to talk about. And that is how we build up barriers that we think we can't get over because we created them in our minds. And I say all that to say, when I saw that there was a provisional cast on for this, I was like, skirt, record scratch. I'm not doing that. And I don't know why I have in my mind that provisional cast on was this monster that I needed to be afraid of, because it so was not. I went on, I found a video that was easier for me to understand, and I did the one where you use the crochet hook and you crochet onto the knitting needle. I did that version of it, and it was fine. I don't know why, but let's talk about that. Do you do that? Is there a technique that you have in your mind's eye was so hard, and then you did it and you was like, what was the big deal? I know I'm not alone in that. Talk to me in the comments about that. The other thing was the Kitchener stitch, which I'm always afraid of, but it's not that bad. But it was 114 stitches that I had the Kitchener stitch. Baby, bye. But I had the rhythm. I didn't have to look, knit off, purl on, purl off, knit on. I had the rhythm. Then I was good. It was so many stitches. But when I look at it now, I realize I probably should have been knitting and purling through that back stitch to get the stitch oriented properly. But you live and learn, and I still love my cow regardless. And what I really love about it is, besides the fact that it's reversible, right? as you can tell, it kind of grows. It starts narrow and it grows. And you guys know I love, Shelby said, it's a snood. I speak for the trees. She says I'm Lorac. But I love that if you put the smaller end down and the larger end up, you can wear it that way. Because I love to just be able to wrap it around my head. So that's that. Also, what else did I want to tell you? It asked you to block it, and I just simply steam blocked it. I have a what is this, Conair steamer. I just steamed it, let it sit overnight, and we were good to go. So I am loving it no matter which side, the big stripes, the little stripes. I love it. And I love the way you can fold it and you can see whichever side tickles your fancy. And I love that. So that is finished objects for the week. Let's talk about what I'm going to do next. I know when I talked about Vogue, I talked about the Saturday Shrug because that's what's up next. And I went through my stash because I told you guys, I showed you that I just got the worsted from, the new worsted yarn from the Magpies, right? So I'm going to use that and their mohair held together. And I'm going to do the pinstripe version, and I'm going to put a picture of it right here so you guys can see what I mean. And I'm going to use Clinton Hill Cashmere, and I'm going to hold that with my Madeline Tosh Gigi Loves Speckles and hold that together. So I think that's going to be really cute. And it is, I think I told you guys, the free pattern. I will put the link for the pattern in the description. But it's a quick knit, I believe, and I need a palette cleanser. Does that make sense? I like to do something that's like an instant gratification in between something that I've knitted on for a while, because there is a matching hat for the mindfully mindless. There's a hat, and I have enough yarn left to make a hat too. So that cashmere is sinful. It's so yummy that I cannot in my right mind just let it sit. So I will be making the hat, and I will show you that, you guys, that when I finish. And the same concept with the hat, it's reversible. You have the thick stripes and the little stripes. So that will be after my Saturday Shrug. I need my first love, right? Because when I first started knitting, I gravitated towards the bulky, the quick stuff, the big needles. You remember I had all my fat needles, and yeah. So this is next. It has a cast on that I've never done before, the tubular cast on. So I love when a pattern has something new so I can learn a new technique. So it has video support. It's a free pattern and it has video support. So I looked at the video on how to do the tubular cast on, tubular cast on, and I'm going to cast this on this evening. So I should be wearing it next week when I upload, because it looks like it's a really easy, a quick knit, an easy knit, because it's just ribbing. So I'm excited. Again, I'm going to put a picture right there because it is so cute. If you go on the hashtag Saturday Shrug on Instagram, the colors that people have been doing, and it's just fabulous. Shelby wants one. She's going to get some yarn, so I'll probably be making two. Not probably. I am going to make two when she gets the colors that she wants, because she wants one too. So that's what's up next, the Saturday Shrug. And right after that, I'm going to do the hat to match this cow. I have a question. Well, no, I don't, because most people have multiple whips, so you don't have this dilemma. Because I like to have something ready, set, go when I finish one thing, so I can just keep going and there's no gaps. Does that make sense? But those of you that have 5,000 whips, yes, I'm throwing shade. You never have that problem, that pause in between, because you have projects to go to. And I probably guess that's a good reason to do multiple whips. My brain, guys, it don't work like that. I can't do it. I've tried. I can't. So that's what's next. Saturday Shrug. And why this shrug is going to be super special to me is because I got a little bit of everybody. I got my Madeline Tosh in there. I'm going to have my Madeline Tosh. I'm going to have my Clinton Hill. I'm going to have my Magpies. All my faves in one project, which, you know, I like to spread the love. So I think that's going to be a beautiful thing. So stay tuned to that. I will definitely share if I have any hiccups. I doubt it. Like I said, the only thing that's new is this cast on, and it looks like there's a tubular bind off as well. So those are two new techniques for me, and I will let you know if they cause any ruckus, which I doubt. I doubt that it'll be a problem, but I will keep you guys posted. And that's that. And now let's talk about this 14-year journey. You guys ready? I still can't believe it's been 14 years. I know Facebook has its hiccups. Not everybody loves Facebook. But what I love about Facebook is the memories. And it was my memories that made me realize that it was 14 years ago yesterday that I taught myself to knit. So for those of you that may not have never heard this story, I used to work for Verizon and I ran a call center. And part of our responsibility was sales. Therefore, we had incentives. So we had a sales closet. And it was time to refresh the giveaways. So we were cleaning out the sales closet, and one of my reps, Dawn, came to me and she said, Miss Gay, what do you want me to do with this? And I looked at it, and it was like a tall cup, and it had a skein of yarn in it and 2 knitting needles and a little pattern. So I said, do we have a lot of them? And she was like, no, it was only one. I said, leave it here, right? So she left it on my desk. I decided to take it home. I pulled out the little piece of paper that was the pattern. It might as well have been hieroglyphics, because I'm like, what? So I went on YouTube. That's why I always say I am a proud graduate of YouTube University. And I taught myself the knit stitch, and I taught myself the purl stitch. I made my first little scarf with holes in it and drop stitches and all the stuff. But I did it, right? And I never, ever expected it to change my life the way that it has. And let me just be a little bit more specific about that. So yes, learning to knit, I have learned to create garments. I've learned to make things for myself. And you guys also know that I fell head forward deep into the knitting pool in the midst of some trauma in my life, right? In 2012, I lost both my parents and my job, and from April to June of that year, and I just buried myself in my knitting. It was then that I learned about knit stores, knit shops. I learned about natural fibers. I had no idea. You let me tell it. A knit shop was, you went to go buy yarn in Michael's or AC Moore or Joann's. Like, I had no concept of actual local yarn shops, and blew my mind that I can get all of these different fibers and the colors and the weights. But I think my insecurities led me to the bulky weight, because I can get something made quickly. Instant gratification was really a thing for me. And in the midst, okay, what happened was the phone rang and it was Lola. I had to answer Lola, and that turned into hours and hours. So here we are the next day, and I will continue on. I was telling you about how I fell in love with bulky yarns, which was my first love. And at that time, I had a fear of fingering weight or lace weight or any light material because I had convinced myself that only real knitters did that, whatever that meant. But I was telling you all of this to say, when I look back over the past 14 years, 10 of those is when I actively knit on a daily basis. Well, 11 of those actually. But it has truly changed my life. I mean, it has increased my self-confidence. It has increased my get her done train of thought. It has kept me company during some really hard times. And I have met some wonderful people, all because of my knitting. And I've met some not so nice ones. But it has just, like, I found a voice. I found a part of me that is truly pure joy. And all that is because of my knitting. And I'm proud. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. So I can give you a little update. When I started this, I said, why am I saying so much? When I started this, I said I was going to cast on the Saturday Shrug. And baby, I wasn't sure because it calls for a bulky. So that's why I'm holding a worsted and a lace weight together. But I wasn't sure with my pinstripe because this cashmere is an Aran weight, and I wanted to still run with the mohair, which is from Malintage. And I wasn't sure how. I'm always get confused with the weights, but I am so happy. I'm so happy. So I think I said this pattern is free. And if just go do yourself a favor and go look at either Saturday Shrug or Saturday Shrug Club hashtag on Instagram. There's so many color options. There's so many color combinations. There's so many stripe combinations. You just can do what you want, really. But I'm going to do the 11 stripe situation with the pinstripes. And I'm in love. And at this rate, I will have a shrug on Saturday because I sat up to God knows when last night. I had to get to the first pinstripe. Am I the only one that's like that? You want to see what it's going to look like? So that's where I am. I am so very glad that I made the decision to teach myself to knit. I would have never expected what I have encountered. I mean, writing articles, being interviewed, being featured, becoming a knit star, having collaborations with some major yarn companies, just my overall influence on the color orange. I would have never ever imagined to be here. So I'm kind of glad that I did that. And I'm sharing this story for those of you that have a dream that you think is unattainable, or have something that you want to try that you think you shouldn't because you might not do so well. I'm here to tell you, do it, right? Do it. I started late in life, but I'm just so very glad that I did. I've gone places that I don't know that I would have gone before, all off the strength of my knitting. So get out of your own way and do what it is that you love to do. And that's all I have. There might just be a special I finished edition this weekend because oh, I want to talk about one more thing. I have gotten to a place. There was once a place, if a pattern had a technique in it that I've never done before, I would avoid it. But now I seek a little bit of a challenge. Does that make sense? So this had a tubular cast on that I've never done before. And I don't know that I'll ever cast on anything without the tubular because it's just so good. I love how it just like looks like the ribbing just magically appears. It's Saturday Shrug, free pattern. I'm telling you, video support. For a free pattern, you get video support. It's a great thing. So this will be my weekend. It's cold. The weather has gotten cold again. So I will be snuggled up. Put something on Netflix on my iPad while I'm working, and yep, all of that. So you'll probably get another video real quick because I can't stop, won't stop, get it. As always, have a fabulous day, week, weekend on purpose. Thank you for being here. And remember, find your joy and go there often. Find what makes you happy. Don't let nobody stop you. Find that and do that. Be that. Be there as often as you can. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll catch you guys next week.